I love Dallas. I said, are you kidding? Are you with Carol? I said, are you entirely well? I hate Dallas. You know, when it says I hate, have to be go along with Paul. You see, he's got me almost converted. Next thing you know, I'll be carrying his gun.
With a holster on.
I'm coming around to all of his ways of thinking, which is really sad. Tell him, well, I really need a gun.
Trying to figure out some way she can get back.
I know. You have to be ready back when comes in the house.
Yeah, you have to be ready.
Over here, trying to clean up the Donovan show. I missed that one.
You know, everyone in Gonzales told my mother that had cable, and they said, oh, Miss Smith, Mary Elizabeth's on the show. Will you know how to get you? And she said, oh, I'd have to dress, and I'm picking up some leaves in the yard. She wouldn't go. I said, Mother, I will let you know. I have things to do. I'm busy.
I won't. We did see. I met you many years ago.
On
I'm sure so.
Yeah, Mike Douglas. I said you with the 8th or
We don't see
something.
her,
You
but
don't see that?
I've always remembered you said
Well, you'll have to watch KFAA
on Monday. Right. Hanging on to them for dear life. Connie, where's
Don't take it away from Sharon, Connie, because
You have one
that's crazy, Connie, and no one can read lips.
Let's watch it.
I said I wasn't so interested in selling the books. I wasn't getting my hands on all 65,000 copies and corrupting books.
I'm sure you enjoy each article I see in the Star Telegram.
Oh, well, you're very nice. Thank you.
What do you think now about
Little Mary Elizabeth Smith. I should sign that here.
Well, they had too many shootouts over near the other location. They killed a couple right across.
Well, love you for coming. Okay. I look forward to it. Oh, listen. It won't matter.
Sound.
Bobbie,
But-
can we be quiet over there in this room here? Just tell. Well, Bobbie, see the 3 pictures on this page. I was in Gonzales and we were in the backyard, and I said we have to have a picture made for the book. So I made her sit on my lap, and she said that is the silliest thing. It's so undignified. So I wanted that on the jacket. That she wanted this on the jacket, which I thought was sappy and kind of saccharine. So we compromised. This one is not. So that's the mother-child standoff, you see. There's the old pecan tree in Gonzales, Texas.
Well, you know, I can read your TV. I would love to see
David liked me, and
Good. Come on.
How are you? I know her. How
How are we doing?
Liz, what are you doing here, handwriting things in the book?
Well, I'm trying to get my hands on all 65,000 copies of the mother book that have been printed and correct this mistake. Because
What is it?
I don't care so much about selling the book as I care about getting this corrected. Well, they call somebody by the wrong name right in the middle of a story so that it makes no sense. And when you've spent 5 years writing a book, that drives you crazy.
Are there other mistakes in there that you found?
Oh, just the one about my mother and father's wedding dates wrong so that it makes one of my brothers illegitimate. He didn't want to be in the book anyway, so I try to get that sometimes. I don't get that one all the time. I think nuts to him. He's the chief accountant for the Senate of the state of Texas, and he shuns publicity.
Listen, I have to ask you about the picture on the back of the book. That is
Oh, yeah.
one of the most unusual pictures. How did that come about?
Well, this was very funny. I showed my mother this picture taken of us where she's sitting on my lap, and she thought it was very undignified. Then I showed her the picture taken with my arms around her in the back. I thought that was saccharine and sentimental, so we compromised with this picture on each side of the old pecan tree there in Gonzales, Texas.
And your mother tells you every day she doesn't like it.
No, she likes this one now. Her fame has made her, she's just become overweening with now that she's famous. She told me that her picture was on the front page of the Tucson paper. And I said, really? Well, how do you know that? And she said, oh, a man brought it to me. I said, what man do you know from Tucson? She said, none of your business. So that she's doing all right for 85 going on 86.
You have worked on this book over a period of 5 years?
Well, I had to make a living at the same time, so I didn't work on it too hard. I was just collecting stuff for it, and last year I worked on it pretty hard.
So every time you would meet and talk with celebrities and VIPs, you'd ask them about their mothers? Is that what
Yes,
you were
and
doing?
also I did a lot of other kinds of historical research, and I wanted to flesh it out, and I wanted it to have a little weight. It's not just funny stories, but there are a lot of funny stories in it, and there are a lot of stories about celebrities, and some of the best stories in it are by people nobody ever heard of, though. But I did talk to a lot of celebrities.
What are some of your favorite celebrity anecdotes in the book, Liz?
I think the Mary Tyler Moore one is really one of the most delightful. She said that she was always very jealous of her mother because her boyfriends wanted to visit with her mother. So she said to herself, someday mother will be old and fat and I'll be beautiful and young. And this never happened. And then she found out years later that the character she was doing as Mary Richards was her mother, that she had taken everything, the essence of her mother's personality. And isn't that wonderful to think that that's what we love so much on the screen, is maybe it isn't Mary Tyler Moore, but Mary Tyler Moore's mother. I love that story.
Did you find that there is some common denominator in everybody's mother, be they, celebrity or someone who is not nationally known?
I think that the common denominator is the story about mothers and sex. The only thing mothers want to know about sex is who's having sex with whom and why aren't they married. No, that's a joke. The common denominator in this book is that I think the common element in motherhood is sacrifice, the idea that the mother makes a sacrifice to be a mother, and maybe she resents it and becomes a terrible mother. Maybe she loves it and becomes a wonderful mother. Maybe she loves it too much and becomes the demanding, possessive mother. But somehow the fact that the mother must give up, something just to bear the child, even if she would abandon it. So I think sacrifice. But this is not a serious book. I didn't make any sacrifice to write it. I had a wonderful time, and I love my own book. I love it.
Liz, you're, of course, so well known as a syndicated columnist, and you write about all the famous and sometimes the infamous people. Currently, who are the people who, really dress up your column and the people that everybody wants to read about?
Gosh, I don't know. I always wonder about that myself. People say they never want to read another word about Jacqueline Onassis. They rush to snatch the column if it has something about her in it. I just don't know. I think it changes a lot. Like people are interested now in Christina Onassis, in the idea of her marrying this Russian after she denied it to all of us in the press. She just vehemently denied it and said it was ludicrous and so forth, and the offices issued this denial. Just proves that people don't always tell the truth. And now she's going to marry this man and live in a 2-room apartment in Moscow. It boggles your mind. She's one of the richest girls in the world. I think she's an interesting story at the moment. But I've been out of New York for 2 weeks, and I don't even think about any of those people anymore. I'm having this wonderful time in Texas, wearing my key to the city of Fort Worth. What could be better?
And
with my sign saying,
yes.
Fort Worth, I love you. Can't wait to get this back on my car. No one will be able to read it. There'll be a lot of crashes in Long Island. People running up behind me trying to read that.
They'll think it's a foreign language.
That's right. It is, in a way.
You have to say it, with all the real Fort Worth feeling, Fort Worth.
I love you. That's it.
That's it.
Right.
There you got it. There you got it. Tell me now about your life since you have become a television star with the David Frost program. Has it changed?
Well, I had this sort of minor nervous breakdown because it was very nerve-wracking. I don't know how you do what you do all the time. I'm just stunned with admiration for people who work in television. Only nice things happened to me. I had one bad review. A man on the Village Voice said I was the most inept person he'd ever seen on television. I didn't know what I was doing. I had the worst voice he'd ever heard. And outside of that, I got great reviews, so it was fun for me. And nice people come up to me on the street and say, "Hi, Liz," you know, so I like that.
So now you're finding your name in other people's columns. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels wonderful. Everything's happened to me. It's been great. I wish I could say that it was a pain to be better known, to, you know, not be dead broke all the time. I can't. I've had a terrific time, and I'm very grateful.
Are you going to continue in television?
I did get a real good offer from NBC locally. I don't know if I will do it. I don't know if I think I'm too old for television. I think I would have to get on the geriatric network.
And George Burns will be the president, huh?
Right, those stress vitamins, I'm going to have to start taking George Burns. He's the greatest.
What do they want you to do on NBC Local?
They were so wonderful. They said I could do anything I wanted, but, you know, they don't mean that. They want me to come on and do gossip probably, or little news stuff. It might be fun. I don't know if I could do that and keep promoting the Mother book and